live from the Horsepower Obsessed Garage. We have a couple things to cover today. So, you guys have all clicked on this because you want to talk about the C8 Corvette Z06. Now, as you guys know by now, I'm sure, GM recently gave us a teaser, a little bit of a taste of what's to come for the C8 Corvette sitting back there. And yeah, it was pretty glorious, right? So you guys have known for a while it's going to be a flat plane crank V8 engine. So what that means is this thing is going to absolutely scream on the track and really anywhere. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that. We have a couple things to discuss today. So we're gonna wait a little bit for the C8 Z06 stuff because that's what all of you guys want to see. I want to make sure as much of the audience is here as possible for that. What we're going to do first is talk about the giveaway. So the first giveaway, not the C5 Corvette giveaway. There's a couple giveaways going on the site or on the channel right now, so bear with me, I guess. If you guys aren't familiar with the channel, if this is your first time tuning in, I am giving away a C5 Corvette, which is actually outside. Well, I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. It is a beautiful Corvette. It is one of the best examples of a C5 that I could absolutely find. And I'm giving it away to you guys just because you guys are awesome. You're subscribed to me. You watch my channel all the time. I wanted to give back, and this is the best way to do it. So, not that giveaway, though. We're talking about the giveaway of the strut covers for the C8 Corvette. Again, if you guys haven't seen that particular video, what this does is it's actually a plastic cover developed by a company called C8 StrutCovers.com. This is all it is. What this does is it sits on top of the strut towers on your C8 Corvette to prevent water from sitting inside the waffle-shaped strut mounts and rusting any kind of bolts. So if you plan on keeping the car for any length of time, these things are your best friends. I've already installed a set on my C8 Corvette, and because that is a mag ride version, it uses a slightly different version of this particular cover. It has a little bit of a bump right here, whereas this one is for the non-Z51 or non-mag ride version car. And we made the video, and I talked a little bit about what we were doing, and you know, if you guys had the non-mag ride version, you could enter to win. And all you had to do was put non-mag ride version in the comments section so I can search for this. Now, with that said, we had a bunch of people enter, and what we're going to do today is choose the winner for these. So these are typically around $60 on the website. Somebody's going to win these today for free. And they're here, ready to go, ready to be shipped. We're going to go ahead and randomly generate the comment that wins this particular contest. So let me turn this around here. And we are going to get out of the ad. And we're here at the random comment picker for YouTube. So I already have the URL right here. I have filter duplicate users. That way, if somebody commented more than once the same thing, they're not more likely to win. This is supposed to be fair for everybody involved. Include replies to comments, filter comments on a specific text, which if you look at down below, that specific text is going to be version. Now, the reason I chose version is because a lot of people typed mag ride with a space and without a space, and I didn't want to necessarily limit anybody just because no one, even myself included, I don't really know exactly how mag ride should be spelled with or without a space. So we're just going to put version. Now, before we go ahead and hit the button here to get somebody to have this lucky chance to win these covers here, what I would like for all of you to do is please smash the thumbs up button on this particular live feed so everybody can see this and this doesn't really get limited to certain audiences. Whenever you hit thumbs up on any of my videos, what it does is help YouTube's algorithm deliver this to other car guys such as yourselves. So the idea here is that we're going to have as many people see this as possible, and everybody will be as excited about the C8 Corvette coming. And, you know, so thumbs up. Let's go ahead and see who wins this. So I'm going to go ahead and click Get YouTube Comments. This is going to pull all the comments from this particular video. So it says there's 57 of these comments. We're going to go down here and hit Start under Pick Random Winner. Okay, there it is. So Lloyd Rosen, he commented the non-mag ride version, which is exactly what I wanted you guys to do. You're the winner, buddy. So what you're going to want to do, Lloyd, if you're on this feed, is go ahead and shoot me an email, horse.power.obsessed@gmail.com. Give me your shipping information, and I will get these things mailed out to you as soon as possible. So again, Lloyd, congratulations, buddy. You won the C8 Strut covers. Now, let's go on to why everybody's really here. Why you guys have clicked on this particular video. And it's going to be because of the C8 Corvette Z06. Now, obviously, I'm a guy who can appreciate some Corvettes, specifically the C8 Corvette, but the Z06 as well. I actually used to own a C7 Corvette Z06 that the ZR1 has replaced. But with the C8 Corvette in general, this is an absolutely beastly car, and it's about to get even better. So if you guys saw the previous video that I put out talking about the teaser trailer from GM, talking about the Z06, you already know the flat plane crank engine sounds amazing, but there's a lot of details about the C8 Corvette Z06 that obviously was not included in that trailer because it was just a teaser. So a lot of you out there, I'm sure, want very specific information, and unfortunately, there's really not a lot that has been set in stone. But if we follow the C7 Corvette and how it was released and the options it came with, they're going to apply very heavily to the C8 Corvette. Now, what I mean by that is the release schedule. So obviously with the C7 Corvette, we got the Stingray first, then the Z06, and then after that, the Grand Sport, which in this case will be an E-Ray instead. So we can expect the Z06 next. We already know that because of the teaser. But with the Z06 comes the Z07 package car. So with the Z07 package, we get carbon ceramic rotors. That's one of the big differences between the base model C8 Corvette and what the Z06 is going to have. We're going to get carbon ceramic rotors as at least an option for the Z07 package. So the C8 Corvette Z06 will likely come with iron rotors standard and the carbon ceramic rotors as an option with the Z07 package. They could potentially offer those as a standalone outside of the Z07, but it's unlikely. I think at least for the first year, maybe two, they're probably going to limit the carbon ceramics just for the Z07 package car. Now, outside of that, obviously we are also going to get a lot of aero. Now, this C8 Corvette here, this is mine, obviously. This is optioned out with ACS's 5VM front lip and some 5VM style side skirts. Also the high wing spoiler back there. Now what that means, this car already has some aero to it. And that's fine, other than the fact that it didn't come this way. I added that. So the Z06 version is likely to get something along the lines of this, possibly even bigger. Side skirts will likely be bigger as well. And we've already seen some of the pictures of the spoiler showing a massive spoiler for the Z06. So it's going to have a lot of downforce, a lot of aerodynamic ability outside of what the C8 has. Now, the reason why that's important is because a lot of you guys already know it's got it's going to have a 5.5 liter flat plane crank V8. And flat plane cranks are typically not necessarily torque monsters. So what that means is GM is estimating, or I guess some of the rumors are saying, it's going to be somewhere between 600 and 620 horsepower. Now, what that means, though, for torque is it's probably going to be around mid-400s at most. That's pretty low when you think about cars like this one, where they stuck with, you know, your typical push rod and everything. This thing makes 715 torque. That is kind of what Corvettes have always been known for. So they're always torquey. Now, with the C8 Corvette, the Z06, it's going to be less torque, but it's going to focus a lot, very heavily on aerodynamics and track performance. So even though, yes, the torque is down, the horsepower is not necessarily as high as the C7 Corvette Z06, it's going to shine because of other aspects. What that means is obviously your flat plane crank, it's going to absolutely explode at 8,000 RPM, but the aero is going to keep that car in check. So if you guys are familiar with cars like the Lamborghini Huracan Performante, it was as fast as it was on the track because of active aero. Now, That's only partially my point, because I don't think the Z06 is going to have any active aero, but it's going to have massively upgraded aerodynamics, and that makes all the difference in the world when it comes to a track car. There is also some rumors and possibility that the C8 Corvette Z06 will have, I'm just going to say, something else on board that's going to help make up the difference in torque. So the car is going to have somewhere around 620 horsepower, and the engine itself is going to put out around 400, 450 torque, but something's going to help assist that in making more torque. I don't want to get a lot into that, because where I'm getting that information, they could potentially get in trouble if I go too much into detail, but I have a feeling that at least one option of the Corvette Z06, so either the Z07 variant, or they may even introduce other variants of the Z06, one of those variants is going to have something that helps make up the torque, or even possibly all of the variants. So with that said, we could possibly be looking at a Z06 with 620 horsepower and somewhere closer to 600 torque. Then all of a sudden we're talking about a really interesting car, because I also have it on really good authority that GM is focusing a lot of time on making the Z06 a lot lighter weight. And what I mean by that is the use of magnesium, the use of carbon fiber, the use of really lightweight